and his brother Frank. They got a story that we're going to share with you. It's going to be so interesting. I can't tell you. You don't know how excited I am to be here. Now, Joe, I just want you to tell me your story. I'm going to start you off. Joe came over here with his brother, right? With $7. They didn't speak the language. And you take it from there, Joe. Tell me, what happened? You got off the boat. What did you do?
What I do, I came from out of America, you know.
Yeah.
And
how'd you get to Brooklyn?
Eh?
Did somebody pick you up?
No.
It was my uncle, he doesn't remember a freaking thing now. My uncle, Blue Verano, would be Sam's father, came to pick us up in New York. And then he took us to Suffolk. We stayed in Suffolk about 3 days, and then he took us to Brooklyn. We were supposed to go to Canton, Ohio, from here because we had a cousin and she had the house ready for us. But what happened was it was something angel feast, something in Brooklyn, and this paisan of ours came to see us. They said, "Please don't go to Canton, Ohio, because Canton, Ohio, they only could offer you steel work, you know, to work on the steel.
Working the
it's
steel.
very hard.
Right.
Please stay over here in Brooklyn." And that's what we did. We stayed in Brooklyn, and then we had to look for a job. After about 2-3 weeks, we found a job. He couldn't get a job because he was a blacksmith, and there was no work for blacksmith. He couldn't find. I didn't have any trade either because I went to school in Italy, and we tried to work I was a floorboard, making 75 cents an hour.
Wow.
And he was a presser, make 75 cents an hour.
Now, how old were you when you came over,
We
Joe?
were about 18, 19.
18
I
and
was
19.
19, he was
Now,
18.
you tell me the story. You came with $7 and you spent money on the boat for ice cream. Is that true?
yeah.
But here's a guy. I want to take you to the end of the story because let me tell you something. There's a lot of money Joe made in his lifetime. And how did he make it? Tell it, Joe. How'd you make it? Hard work. Hard work.
I made it.
And what was your credo, Joe? What was the thing that you always said? First of all, when you buy a house, what kind of house you have to buy?
2 family.
2 family.
There's one family, there were no board.
Yeah.
We made 2 families.
Yeah. Now Joe has you got two families right now, right?
Yeah.
He's got a property in Maine that he hasn't seen yet.
Property in Italy.
He has a property in Italy that he has a house that's beautiful. You can look into the what is that sea, Joe?
The Mediterranean Sea.
The Mediterranean, with the breeze, you can see it, and he has a place on the beach. I mean, this guy, huh?
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. And Teresa, you came from the same village, right,
Yeah,
Teresa?
same town.
The same time.
I was born over there,
Where is she?
and I come when I was 14.
She came
14.
in 1947.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at the real American dream. They have made it here. And I don't even want to tell you the stories about his family. It's scary.
With the sacrifice, you reached there.
What's that?
With the sacrifice, you reached.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You had a sacrifice.
This is the land of opportunity.
Right.
Whoever want to work,
Right.
and you get somewhere.
But you see, this is going to go in. People are going to see this. And like Sammy said, I said, Sammy, your family, you own a bowling alley. The other guy has a house that he buys a camp next to him because you don't want people next to him. He has what does he make? Coffee? He has a coffee plantation, the guy on Montebello.
Oh yeah.
He has a coffee plantation. He's a printer. I mean, your family is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's
you know, I invested money. you know. That's
But,
everything.
but it was always the same
He don't leave
theme.
the money
If
in the
you,
bank. He never leave the money in the bank. As soon as we accumulate a little bit, he invested.
and you worked. You worked.
And he worked.
There was a time he was a tin knocker, and I got to tell you the story. He worked so much he had to sleep over there. They built a huge mall, and Joe's name was No Problem. They called Joe No Problem. Why they called No Problem? With all the engineers there, and they couldn't figure out something, they said, Joe, no problem. Am I right? Am I lying about it?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Now, Joe's father used to export oranges, olives. Now, tell me the story about the property in Italy with the olive and...
Everything over there. Different fruit, you know. A lot of fruit over there. Olive tree, like the most is olive,
right.
you know.
I want you to tell me the story about that saint that used to be in the house by herself all the time. And tell me the story about her.
In which Frank?
The saint.
a cosa, a buona che de sempre.
Oh, the woman.
The woman.
A buona che de sempre.
Oh, yeah.
Tell that story.
Yeah.
That's a long story, you know.
Yeah, tell me.
You got a picture of her?
Yeah, I got a picture.
Then take a picture, then you show to him, and
I got a picture.
they take the picture.
We got it.
Where
It's
is
in
the
the hallway.
But tell me the story, Joe. Because these people don't know. You got to tell me the story.
I don't know.
This woman over here,
I don't think I have it anymore.
she wanted
I don't think we have it anymore, Fred.
to somebody to drink. They drink some water. When they drink the water on a pond, you know, they thought they got a devil.
Okay.
And it was a big story, you know.
She drank the water and they thought she was possessed because what did she become? A cripple?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of people, you know.
And she stayed in bed for how many years?
Oof. My God, 50 years.
And,
Yeah.
and people used to bring her stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, she didn't tell.
Well, tell me a little bit about
We
her.
all did. All the time we used to bring food to her. She couldn't even finish what they bring her. And then we gave it away to the poor.
Okay. Now, what was unique about her? What was different about her? The fact that she could stay in bed and not get bed sores. What was the?
Well, she had the spirit. So then they went to the Jertosa. We call it the Jertosa.
There is a book that I could
It's
give
a
you.
convent with monk.
Okay.
And they took the devil.
There is a story, a long story about that.
They took the devil out of her.
It's a long story. The only thing that we
The
have a
devil,
book.
the devil told them, you know, he says, I get out, but I'm gonna live with cripple. But she didn't get crippled right away. She get a little, she get crippled. Little by little, she get crippled. And she was 60 years in bed. No blister, no nothing.
Yeah.
And the village people used to bring her food.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
And the communion every morning.
Every day.
communion, the nun was going to wash her and change the bag, whatever she needed to change and everything.
She died in 1953.
Come in here.
She died?
In 1953. We were over here in this country.
Now, Frank,
52.
when there was consideration to make her a saint,
And
right?
he's under now. She's
They're still doing that?
they still doing. Takes a long time.
Because there were miracles, right?
Yeah, because she did one miracle. They said they claim she did a miracle already. Somebody, and even Joe, and someone over here that was complaining about having a cancer over here. And Joe gave me the image, you know, of this woman, and they put him on the bed. And when she went to the doctor said, there is nothing. This happened about 4 or 5 years ago over here.
Well,
Yeah, a friend of ours.
Yeah, I remember that story. Joe told me the story.
Yeah.
What happened is this woman, they found a tumor
Yeah,
in
tumor.
her breast, and
The
Joe
other-
gave her a picture of this saint, or this woman, and she put it on her breast, and guess what? Tell her, Joe. No more,
The
no
doctor
more
says
cancer.
it wasn't-
No.
The doctor says
No,
it was no cancer.
they
no cancer.
operate, they took the main one, and the bad one, they didn't find it.
They couldn't find the other tumor.
No.
And that, did they ever thank you, Joe?
No.
No.
Yeah. Even the doctor
Couldn't believe it.
couldn't believe.
How could it happen?
Couldn't believe that
You have a picture of this woman over here. Where is the picture? The picture over there, I want to show to him.
Joe brought
Yeah,
the story of this woman.
I couldn't find. I don't know where you put.
No, you-
out the hallway.
Hey, go
The
make
picture.
a
Yeah,
picture.
yeah, I will.
He knows.
But
he
Joe,
saw it.
You remember you brought back books? You had the book published about her, and you gave them out? Because I remember you gave
No,
it out.
Yeah.
She was dead.
Yeah.
There was some. There is a book somewhere over here.
Yeah, Joe brought, he paid for these books to get them
Yeah,
made
he
up,
had
and he
about
wanted to tell their
about
story.
100 or whatever, he bought it.
Yeah.
And we gave it out to the church.
Yeah, but there's another story I got to tell.
Yeah.
Here's a story. Joe, when he was young, was in a terrible car accident.
Yeah.
Terrible. He was in the hospital and didn't look good. Tell the story, Joe. Tell what happened.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
Oh,
was-
the telegram. That said.
The telegram with
Oh, yeah.
Padre Pio.
That's-
Okay, tell the
that's
See
story.
the Padre Pio over there?
Yep,
Padre Pio.
right. Tell the story, Joe.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I still got
You know,
the
the story
telegram.
went like this. My cousin was very devoted to this Padre Pio. And when she found out that he had a car accident and almost died, she sent a telegram to Padre Pio in Italy. And there was an answer. And when it was an answer, if the miracle occurred, you would smell like something beautiful, you know.
He smelled the
They smell
Roses.
something, you know.
the letter,
Yes.
and it smelled like roses.
And,
Yeah.
and the miracle was done. And the doctor says, I don't know what happened, but it says he's supposed to die. So he made it.
Yeah.
I went to see was the hospital in the truth. What was the name of the hospital? You remember?
Was in Newburgh.
Newburgh Hospital.
Newburgh, yeah.
I went there about 4 or 5 times. I spoke to the doctor. And he says, I don't know what happened, but there was a miracle, whatever it was.
Well, Joe used to walk, how many miles a day, Joe? You remember at the St. Lawrence Center, 3 miles every day, every morning, you used to walk. You remember that, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Joe, you got to understand this guy. He is amazing. One, he makes his own wine. The wine, if you tasted it, it's medicinal. He makes the best wine you could ever taste. He makes his own tomatoes. How many tomatoes you make? How many tomato jars?
50 jars.
Next
50
year, we made a 92.
92.
92 yards.
Yeah.
And what about the sausage that you make, the supersad, you know, Joe, you had all
Yeah,
that.
it's salami, you know.
The salami. He makes all his own stuff.
It's 2 years that we didn't make it.
Yeah, but he did make it. I mean,
Yes.
let me say, because I'm the recipient of what you gave me. That stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff he's done. And I'm going to let you judge. This man was a blacksmith at one time. He would take metal, bars of metal, and make stuff out of
What
it.
are you behind you?
I know, right behind me. And I'm going to show you this. This is his work. It's an olive tree. Is that an olive tree, Joe? Olive branch?
A branch.
A branch.
Branch, you know.
Now, this, if you count the amount of petals, what does it come out to, Joe? I forgot how that worked.
Yeah.
If you count the amount, what did it come out
Yeah,
to?
it's 1978.
1978, if you count it.
Yeah.
Well, how does